Hi, I'm Felipa, and this is day 10 of 365 of my reading plan to complete the Bible within a year. So today's reading was on chapter 28. Isaac blesses Jacob and sends him to Padan Aram, and Jacob's vision of a ladder. And it ended on chapter 30, Jacob's policy, whereby he becomes rich. So I haven't, I've read that part. So today's readings were a little bit interesting. I felt as though they were not necessarily more story-based, but they were about Jacob's journey to go from his home to Padan Aram to find himself a wife who was going to be from his mother Rebecca, her brother Laban. And so he travels there. He meets a woman called Rachel, and she happens to be the daughter of Laban, who is his mother Rebecca's brother. So that would make them cousins, I guess. So he meets her. Laban, or like his uncle, basically says, if you stay here for 7 years and work with me and work for me, you can have the daughter that you want. There's 2 daughters. There's Rachel and there is Leah. And so somehow Laban lets Jacob have Leah, presuming the way that the storyline goes is that he sleeps with her, but somehow doesn't know it was Leah. And he wanted to be with Rachel. And so that didn't happen. But then he also gave him Rachel to be his wife. After that, Leah, who happens to be the older daughter, ends up conceiving like 6, 7 sons for him. And Rachel is barren until at one point she does have a couple of sons. And then Jacob essentially says, now that I have fulfilled my promise of being here for 7 years, I would like to leave and go make like my own life and my own home. And so I have gotten to that part where there's sort of a conversation between Jacob and Laban in regards to the land he's going to go to, the animals he might or might not take. And this is where I have ended the story. I think because I'm so early into the Bible, to be honest with you, there's just going to be times where I feel as perhaps there isn't some really intense lesson that's being offered, but more of a historical account. And I'm very happy to hear anybody else's opinion or comment about what you might think about that. And I'm also aware that perhaps the story will develop further, and with a little bit more of a background, I'll be able to piece things together and there might be like a lesson down the road. But so far, this is where I am within the Bible, and it's just about Jacob's journey to have a wife and children and have his own land, and the fact that he is seemingly blessed by the Lord and kind of guided by the Lord, because he does have a conversation or a vision or an experience where he receives that blessing to be guided and to have God with him, and he accepts that kind of responsibility. And tomorrow we move on to chapter 31, where Jacob supposedly leaves Laban secretly. So that is where we are at today. If you have any comments or guidance, I greatly appreciate it, and I will see you tomorrow for day 11 of 365.